The shot is Carolina. Hey, hey, what do you say?
Talkin Sauce, episode 106,
What's the date?
21st of March.
Nice, dude. Nice.
It's
I
almost
didn't even know,
April.
right?
Ain't that fucked up?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
It's real fucked up, dude. This is the date that did you see? So, did you guys like roughly follow
Nope.
the probably not, honestly, once you hear what I'm about to say, but like this whole Bachelor drama shit that happened?
Oh, nah,
A little bit.
Like
the
real-
TV show
Yeah.
where the guy, he picked the chick and then he couldn't pick her because she did some racist shit in like 2018.
Yeah. So like he kind of got like ripped apart for like how he did. 'Cause you know they have like the end, they have like the whole final wrap up thing. And
And he put her on blast.
like he did, but like
I don't know what he said.
the thing is, he didn't really say much of anything. Like literally, there was the host was asking him stuff, and he would just be sitting there and just go, and then would just be really awkwardly quiet, and the host would be like, "All right, next question," just like not really addressing anything. It was real uncomfortable. But he just
That's
cryptically
uncomfortable.
tweeted out, just like he deleted everything off like his Instagram, everything off his Twitter, and just tweeted out 3/21/21, which is today, and like that's the only thing he has like on like the permanent stories on Instagram, like the shits they have like on the bottom you can keep there forever. That's all that's on his Instagram, and on his Twitter it's like the only tweet that's still up, and I don't know what the fuck it means.
That's
dude.
terrifying.
It's really scary.
Well, didn't he go to therapy and shit?
I mean, probably. I honestly, I don't like. I didn't watch. I just watched like that final episode at Lexi's house the other night. I showed up and they were doing the whole, because the Chris Harrison guy got in trouble.
Yeah,
he's
because
like
he
the
said it
normal
wasn't
host.
he said it wasn't racist.
Yeah, and then like so they bring in, I forget the guy's name, but he's like a Fox Sports, NFL.
They brought the sports guy.
Yeah, they brought the sports guy in, and he, dude. I mean, they gave this man the tiniest suit they could find. And he was just out there just soaking it up. Like, he didn't give a fuck about none of it. He was just like,
Sports
man,
guy.
the drama here, but bruh, my man, I don't know how they buttoned that jacket around him, dog. It was fun. He had a turtleneck, and just all the movement had to be from elbows down. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
like, you can't busting the fuck out of that suit. But really, we got to find out what I don't even, is it Matt? It's Matt something. That's the Bachelor. We got to find out what's going on today, dude.
I don't think I wanted to know.
I feel like
be
we're going to
honest.
know whether or not we want to know. You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those things, dude.
Yeah.
And they also announced,
I mean, fuck, it's already 1:40. It needs to.
they kind of need to, prime time. You can't do it like 8 p.m. on a Sunday.
Not
dude.
on a
Everyone's already
Sunday.
thinking about Monday work.
Someone's
and
watching
shit,
their
dude.
show.
Exactly, dude.
You know what I mean? Which we'll get into. We'll talk about that. Since you're not gonna ask, I've been playing a lot of I've been playing a lot of Tarkov. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rough patch.
Rough
here.
little run here.
But my Bitcoin farm's up and running, so I'm making bread.
Nice, dude.
I'm about to finish my
Like the Winklevoss twins.
for real. I'm about to finish my 6th graphics card right now.
Nice.
And then so that'll like increase the rate which I get Bitcoins.
Nice.
And it's just rubles, son.
Nice, dude.
Rubles making themselves.
That's really, I guess, the best way to do it, huh? And it's like
That is the most efficient way to
give
do
a
it.
fuck about what goes on in the raids, dude. You got money making regardless. Just go out there and lose all your guns, bro.
And I found out recently that because you can only sell the Bitcoins to the therapist,
Mm-hmm,
which is like the doctor.
It's like real life, dude. It's a money sink.
Basically.
Therapy's fake.
Whoa.
You hear that? The Bachelor guy, Matt James? Matt
Jesus.
James? It's 2 first names. That's not cool. Anyway, Tarkov.
The price that she buys them at is attributed to the actual, like, what Bitcoin actually goes for.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So you're like a big fan of Elon Musk on like a different level. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I need to follow the Bitcoin price.
Like, is it spiking? It's like, oh, are you invested? It's like, kinda.
Like, no. No, I'm not.
I am, but I'm not. You know?
Not in the real world.
No. Imagine if you had that many, like the amount of Bitcoin you have in game. Imagine if you had that in real life, though, dude. I don't know how many Bitcoin you have in the game, but if it's
I've
even
produced
one,
a little bit, but right now I have 2.
I feel like 2 Bitcoin like IRL, isn't that like
I think it's worth a lot of money.
$80,000 or something like that?
Because like usually, in like I may or may not have when on when they get used, it's always like fractions
Yeah.
to like purchase something.
Even on the game.
No,
Oh.
never mind.
Now I feel like you're doing some shady shit with Bitcoin, dude. Josh is out here.
Nah, I'm not.
This whole podcast somehow, some way is like a backdoor to just mine Bitcoin off the internet using like Anchor server
If
somehow,
only.
dude.
You wish.
I do.
You wish.
We'd be getting paid
Because
to
then
do
I would
this.
share that money. Because I'd really have to launder it.
We'd have to make that money disappear and reappear somehow.
For real. Speaking of making stuff disappear and reappear, I heard there's like a cutting weight thing.
Yeah, what's
the
what's
UFC.
the girl? I think it's like Julia Storyalenko.
That shit's scary.
No, it was real scary, and like so she was coming out on I think it was they do the weigh-ins on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
She walked out on the scale, like step up on the scale, and then just kind of like faints backwards. Her coaches catch her before she like fully falls. They kind of like they go to the ground, right? And then they try to get her back up, and they're like, "Well, you still gonna try to weigh in here?" Try to put her back on the scale, and like she falls again. And I mean, obviously, she's not allowed to fight. She got to go directly to the hospital. But it brings up this whole conversation as to whether or not the UFC needs to step in somehow and do something about like the weight cutting, I guess issue. Some would call it the weight cutting issue in fighting. But it's kind of that weird ground where it's like the UFC doesn't make anybody cut weight. You know what I'm saying? They're not like, no, you can't fight at this weight. You got to fight 20 pounds lower or whatever.
Well, I guess what they need to look at is like if someone weighs X and they're looking to fight a certain person by date Y,
Yeah.
they're not allowed to drop so many pounds.
Yeah. I know there's
Like how many pounds did she have to drop
honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know what she
and or gain?
walks around at or whatever. What she had said, though, was that she made the weight by, like, 5 a.m. that morning or 4 a.m. or something. And I don't think the weigh-ins were until, like, 9 a.m. or something like that. So
there's a lot of factors.
a lot of factors.
Not just maybe losing 15 pounds in 24 hours, but
Yeah.
Sleep, but no sleep,
No sleep. And then having, not only it's like,
starvation.
like
See,
some
that's where
people
it
make
gets,
that
It
weight.
gets spooky. Like that's like eating. I mean, I feel like all fighters have eating disorders.
When you're doing it that way.
Of a unique variety.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it that way. Because you look at a guy, Khabib had weight cutting issues when, like, at the beginning of his career, and then he just went out, got a nutritionist, someone who was like, well, the problem is that you fight at 155, but you're walking around the 8 months a year
Like
at
200 pounds.
It's like, yeah, you're obviously gonna have problems if you're trying to cut 50 pounds in 3 months, but if you maintain a 175 body weight year round,
I want to see Dustin Bufflin fight at like the 190.
yeah,
He's just gotta cut 100 pounds.
for real, dude. But I know like One Championship does the like hydration test stuff, which is, I mean, that's the same thing we had to do for high school wrestling. Was the beginning of the year, like you weighed in, pass a hydration test, and you're only allowed to lose X amount of pounds like a week. So you had to make sure you were in shape at the beginning of the season, so that by the time regionals come around or whatever, you're allowed to fight at whatever weight you want to fight at.
That's why you just fight up and you be strong.
Yeah, and that's obviously this was women's fighting, so it was lighter weights, but that's where it gets weird at like the heavier weights for in the men's division where it jumps from like 185 to 205 to up to fucking 285 or whatever, and then it's like you have a guy who's just built a little different. He's like stature wise a little shorter, arms a little shorter. He can't really get away with fighting the giants at 205, but
Right.
he doesn't have the body to really cut down to 185. And
Right.
it's real weird, man.
Well, yeah, and again, not to separate the women's or men's divisions that much, but I feel like to your point, there's a lot more unique body builds in the men's.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about switching weight divisions.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, there's like short dudes, like BJ Penn looking dudes who are like
Yeah.
more stocky sized,
Mm-hmm.
and there's guys who are real tall and lanky. There's some like lankier, tall women's fighters.
Oh yeah. That the girl who fought Nunes the other weekend. was
Exactly.
Big and long.
String bean.
Dude, speaking of women's fights, there was a women's fight on this card last night. I forget. Conejo was one of them. I forget. Bays. It was Cheyenne Bays, which I'd never heard of, and this Conejo girl. And the Conejo girl just wrestled, like, literally did the same move for all 3 rounds. Was just, like, head and arm lock, trip, throw her down, literally just hold her down like fucking, like we're just, like, in elementary school wrestling. Just head and arm, just, like, bopping her in the head. And this girl on the bottom's getting pissed off because she's, like, fucking, like, she wants to, like, fight me. So at the end of the fight, girl gets a little separation and just starts, like, wailing on her from the bottom. And then the Conejo, who's on top, is the one wrestling, gets up, spits in her face, and says, "I'll follow you home, bitch." And just like it was like it got so serious so fast, bro.
Whoa.
And like, and then they were trying to like fight, and this is on ESPN, so ESPN had to like they just cut the broadcast and even try to like blur things out because it was just middle fingers and fuck yous going back and forth.
Jesus.
It got so intense.
Sounds like high school.
dude.
man.
Yeah, for real though.
Sounds like a fight back
For
in high
real
school.
though.
That's wild.
Wild as fuck, man.
Dude, that reminds me of you seen that shit with is it Gabriel? Curtis Gabriel, the guy who's like fought like 3 times recently.
Yeah.
And then John Scott went on his podcast and was like, "All right, dude, fucking relax." Because that guy, I guess, like was talking to the media and was like, "Oh, I'm down to fight.
I'll fight anybody.
I'll fight anybody. You want to fuck with me and my team?"
I don't even plan on skating in the next game. I'm gonna get out there, fight a guy, sit in the box, come back out, fight a guy, sit in the box.
John Scott was like, dude, relax. You've had only maybe like 2 sips of a third of a quarter cup of coffee, buddy. Like, it's some real fucking.
Let's all just take a breath. I didn't know John Scott had a podcast.
Yeah, I
dude.
think he's been doing it.
I guess everyone has a
Yeah,
podcast.
I mean, come on. That's why all the talented ones get listened to.
Yep.
They're too busy getting listened to.
Yeah.
Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Luckily, we got plenty of listeners, dude. We got so many listeners. Some would
Dude.
say the most listeners.
speaking of getting shit on, how about fucking? I mean, come on, like was it a TikTok the chick sent, from the women's NCAA
Oh,
Tournament.
yeah, dude.
showing off the weight rooms.
Yeah, the weight rooms.
That's what I saw.
The difference in meals. Like, the guys had, like, this buffet style, just, like, fucking real nice food, and all the women just literally got, like, a takeout box of some stuff. Dude, they looked at, like, so all the players get, like, gift bags and stuff of just, just, like, shit from, like, the tournament. You know, it's a big tournament. All the guys would get, like, they got, like, shirts with their numbers on it, like, 2021 NCAA tournament, whatever it is. I don't follow college basketball. All this stuff. Even, like, they got a bunch of, like, soap and deodorant and just shit, just, like, a whole bunch of shit. And they go to, like, the gift bag that the women got, and it was literally just, like, NCAA women's basketball and, like, 1 bar of deodorant and a bag that just said NC. Like, it looked like leftover just free giveaway shit that at just, like, an NCAA event.
It's fucked up.
And it's real fucked. With the weight room thing, too, though, it's like, why can't they both just use the same weight room? Different times, you know? Just schedule it better. All of it, man.
All facts.
How did they not see this being a PR nightmare?
Exactly, dude. It's NCAA is so trash.
So
They're right up
trash.
there with NHL.
It's because the same people have been running it for like the last 40 years, probably. And they're like, well, women didn't even
Like
play
Mitch
sports.
Mitch
20 years
McConnell looking
ago.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, for real. It's ridiculous though.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous.
Because it's really not that expensive either. Like in the grand scheme of putting on a
a
tournament,
weight room.
some food. Like, come on, bro.
Talking about some Dick's Sporting Goods, my guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I'm pretty sure that the like people taking photos of the men's tournament got better treatment than the women actually playing in the tournament.
I know.
Like, it's crazy. It's so fucking crazy. But like you said, NCAA, go to NCAA, dog.
The NCAA is going to do what they do, which is trash.
Which is trash, dude. Speaking of doing what people do, bro, how about the FBI and Rick Moranis? Fucking out here looking
So
for
it's
him
just
freaking
like a
kids.
meme where it's just like this guy looks like Rick Moranis.
He
with-
looks just like Rick Moranis. Like, it's like I saw the
But
picture.
is it him though?
I hope not, but at the same time, I hope so. For like just for the content, you know what I mean? Just because like I don't want to not like Rick Moranis.
Is that why he's disappeared?
That's what it is, dude. That's why he got punched in New York, right?
He
Wasn't
got
that Rick?
he got socked in New York.
Someone knew, bro. Someone saw the meetings he was showing up to. It's like this motherfucker, bro.
Damn.
Wop wop.
Hit him with the 1-2.
Hit him with the 1-2, dog. Wink wink.
So the FBI released the photos.
Yep, they put out a photo
Okay.
on Twitter. It was like, we're looking for this guy from the Capitol riots. And, I mean, straight. I don't know
So
if you guys
he
have
was
seen
one of the guys
photo.
they were looking for. Or he was just
Yeah.
another dude.
No, like, they were like, someone help us identify this guy. And
Help us
everyone-
identify Rick Moranis.
And everyone was like,
That's
is Rick
Dark Helmet.
Moranis. Like, everyone was like, we got you. That's Rick Moranis.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Already wanted for child abuse for shrinking his kids.
The PR just nightmare that is Rick Moranis' life for these past couple months, dude.
Since
Or since
1992.
yeah, whatever. Surprised you knew when that movie came out.
That's rough, man. That's rough. Little hockey.
Little hockey.
Little
Before we
hurt.
get to that,
Go
dude,
ahead. Yeah.
get us.
If you
At
wanna
Talkin'
get
Sauce
us.
Pod, dude. You talk. Everyone has a podcast. We got a podcast. At Talkin' Sauce Pod. No underscore. Respect the underscore. If you're watching, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Check us out on all the streaming platforms, dude. Scrum every Wednesday. Podcast every Monday. You're listening to the podcast. You're watching the podcast. Tell your friends
To all your fucking
that it's an
friends.
okay podcast, but they should listen.
It's
to
all
it.
right.
It's okay.
I mean,
There's nuggets of gold.
You
within
spend so
layers
much of your
bullshit.
days. Not you. You spend so much of your time doing nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Just throw us on in the background.
You know what I'm saying? Just hit us with a little Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying?
In between your Tarkov raids.
A little 5% volume, screen off, have it on repeat, and go to sleep. Just play it overnight. Like I don't see why it's so hard for you.
It's real simple.
I really don't understand why it's so hard
Fucking
for
get it
you.
right.
Like fucking do better, fans, listeners.
Fans. Come on, fans. Anyway,
Chasing Dylan.
we had to drag him back all the way from L.A.
For
Keep
real.
this shit going. That's how serious we are. Think we're playing.
For real. He said your girlfriend can move out to LA. Dude, you ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
He was like, I just bought that house. I don't give a
Give him
fuck.
a fuck.
Sleep in your car.
Yeah. Sound like Brendan Moore after losing 3 games straight. Speaking of losing 3 games,
Damn. Them Canes, dude.
I mean, you gotta look at it like we're gonna lose some games, right?
Nope. Not me, dude. That's not how I look at it.
You just
Undefeated or
unacceptable?
bust. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Even
well,
one loss is 2 losses too many.
it's a season like they've never played before. But go ahead, go off, I guess. But no, we lost in a shootout.
Yep, to the Blue Jackets.
Oh, he said we. Quick, crucify him.
Dude, you're not on the team, dude.
Yeah,
You're not on the fucking team.
Shit,
dude.
man.
You didn't do anything, dude.
Fuck.
But yeah, the Blue Jackets tie it up with like under 30 seconds left in the game, I think. Hurricanes score a goal.
The better question is, was Line benched?
I don't think he was. He actually made the pass to Seth Jones for the game-tying goal, which there's controversy about. We'll get to that.
He went up to Tortorella afterwards. He was like, "What do you want me to do?" Like,
he's like, "Oh, is that good enough? Was that good enough?"
Exactly.
But so, well, Svetch gets the monkey off his back. It's good, back in the goal column. Then overtime, we score a goal, gets overturned. Svetch was offsides on just some just brain fart shit. Just like all he had to do was move his foot, he was like waiting at the blue line. Just he was waiting like a couple inches.
I played
offsides.
barely. I've been offsides a lot.
Aw. But so that happens. Yeah, losing the shootout. But in the third, I forget who, but Line drops his stick in the corner. Blue Jackets guy
Delay game.
basically throws his stick to him, slides it over to him. Line ends up getting the puck, making the pass to Seth Jones. Seth Jones scores the goal. And yeah, fans are kind of fans, even Trip Tracy tweeted out, this should never, the play shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't, you're not allowed to pass the stick. But it's kind of I feel like that shit happens 1,000 times
No,
a game.
I
you know
don't
what I'm
trip
saying?
over something like that. It's that's a clean play. Because you
This-
also have to have the poise and the timing to not fuck up that
Yeah.
to still be able to get the pass off.
Yeah, I mean, the NHL's even tweeting out clips where, wasn't Was it Matthews flipping the stick to Marner or whatever? Remember that? Just like flipping it backwards right back into his hands. And NHL's like, look at that shit. And everyone's like, well, that's actually against the rules in your book. And like, but shit's kind of cool though, right? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid rules like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should be able to kick the puck in.
Maybe. I'm thinking of
From
maybe.
a certain distance.
From a certain, I get yeah. Outside the dots, if you can fucking get like that.
If you just kick the fuck out of it and that thing leaves the ice and the goalie doesn't stop it, that's the goalie's
yeah, they
fucking
should.
fault.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
You see what I'm
for
saying? You can't
sure.
kick that shit if you're like in the crease. Yeah, you can't do that.
Sweep that shit in
That's
there,
bullshit.
dude. I'd be into it, dude.
You know what I'm
saying? Little,
Like if you're
little
like if
socky.
you're by like the dot at one of the
Yeah.
circles and it goes off a kick into the net, I don't want to hear shit about
Dude,
kick
do
promotion.
like the bicycle kick, dude. If someone pulls off a bicycle kick mid hockey game, fucking cracks
Catches
their
a
head
shin.
open. Yeah, cracks their fucking head open, trying to do that backflip, but they score that
Hold
goal.
on.
That's a goal, dog.
Now, if the argument's like you can't kick because you got knives on your feet,
There's something there.
then all right.
There's
then,
okay.
Then I'm like, okay, I'll concede.
if we want to get into the nitty gritty of it,
Yeah.
if we really want to break it down.
I don't think Mrazek's coming back yet, though.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I saw he was taking some shots in practice today. I saw that like just before the podcast
He's been
started.
doing that.
And Trocheck's in a yellow jersey, which I guess is just good that he's skating. But so let's say next couple weeks, Mrazek does. No, we want to say let's say like next game Mrazek comes back, just so we can only look at what's happened so far. Which goalie goes back to the taxi squad? Reimer and Nadalkovich.
I'll tell you this much: fans won't be totally understanding or satisfied.
No, it seemed, at least on Twitter, seems pretty clear that they have chosen Nadalkovich as their goalie
Yeah,
over Reimer,
Yeah.
and they will not be told otherwise.
yeah.
Where you stand?
Do I think Ned deserves the shot? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think the confidence from the coaching staff is more in Reimer? Yes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
So I guess with that idea, the most likely hood of it is that they'll stay with Reimer.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Do you think?
will I be disappointed either way? Not really.
Yes, they're kind of. Nadalkovich and Mrazek are just such the same goalie to me that it just makes sense to have Reimer as the other one. To be honest, even though Ned, maybe Ned is better. I think he's definitely proven the coaching staff wrong in these games that he has played in.
Yeah.
I do think they had very low confidence in his ability to turn into like a. Maybe not like, a number one or an alpha goalie, as that one athletic writer was saying. The Hurricanes need to go out and get an alpha goalie.
I mean, as cringy as that is, I don't really disagree.
But then they said Jonathan Quick, and I was like, I
Relax.
suppose. Yeah, I was like, I suppose
Relax.
that's an alpha goalie. He has won cups in his past. But, yeah, I don't know.
I like the idea of that John Gibson trade without all the stupid offers people have been suggesting we need to give up
Nature's
for him.
Slavin,
And a
Pesci,
first-round
2
pick.
first
Get
rounders,
the fuck out of
and
here.
Dougie for half a season.
I'll tell you what, you give up. I don't know. I don't think Anaheim needs it. They wouldn't take any of our defensemen, like from like who we would trade
Yeah.
from who they need standpoint. Like, they don't need Gardner.
Yeah.
They don't need Shea.
Shea's been playing pretty well, though.
I'm not saying we would trade
Yeah.
him. I'm just saying like those are like who we would trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Middle
You'd
tier.
have to give, that's literally all that Anaheim's got. is
Yeah.
Gibson. So you'd have to give up something serious.
Oh, you'd have to give something serious. I'm just saying in terms of part of the package, we'd have to give
Yeah.
up a rookie prospect
yeah. We would have to,
and probably one of our goalies.
we'll send him Nadalkovich and Seth Jarvis for Gibson straight up. Who says
and,
no?
And probably a pick.
Nah. Who says no?
Probably give him a pick,
Like a third?
like
Maybe
a second or a first.
How about a seventh? A seventh and a fifth. Conditional fourth in the next year.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's crazy.
It'd be nice if we could draft a goalie.
Yeah.
But isn't that what every team is saying?
Yeah.
That
We
there's
could be
draft
fucking
goalies?
Florida paying $10.5 million for Bobrovsky.
Good thing we ain't.
Good thing that we're not.
Speaking of signing players, the Capitals, they signed TVR,
Mm-hmm.
so he's sticking around.
How many fucking defensemen do the Capitals have?
They
now?
got all the defensemen.
They've got
they got some
so
deep.
many defensemen.
They're like the Canes in that sense, where they just have depth at
Yeah.
defenseman.
yeah, they got because I literally isn't it like 9, like they have 9 NHL caliber.
I mean, it goes all the way down to
Defenseman.
TVR and Siegenthaler, Jensen, Orlov, fucking
You got Dylan and Carlson.
Dylan and Carlson.
I mean, you got
Fucking
fucking
somebody
Chara.
else.
Got goddamn Chara.
Yeah, I feel like we
Got
just named 8 guys.
for real, dude. It's crazy. And is it? I guess. I mean, I don't. You're a bigger fan of the Capitals than I am, but do they need TVR that bad? Like it seemed from everything I was reading, he had been scratched a bunch of games, healthy scratch too. Not you know what I'm saying? It's like
Well, Chara's
obviously
probably
he's
going to
cheap.
leave after this year.
That's true.
You know, he plays that good defensive style. I don't know who else is up. There's probably someone else up who they're not going to sign, and it's 2 years under $1 million. So that's, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's not a boon of a contract by any means, but it was kind of interesting. You know, I didn't really expect him to
It's
resign
insurance.
him. Truthfully,
Yeah, well, there you go. You were fucking wrong.
It's
He's
true.
reliable. He's like we know him from his days in
Yeah.
Carolina. He's a reliable defenseman,
Yeah,
right-handed. You know, you need that shit sticking around. IMO.
That is true.
IMO.
What's your opinion, Dylan?
IMO.
Why?
'Cause,
Where
like,
do you
I've been
think
listening to nothing
TVR
like that.
slots into the Capitals lineup moving forward?
Say he should be expelled from the league.
Expelled from the league.
Expelled?
They got to call him to the front
I
office.
like you said expelled like he's a wizard of dark arts or something. Expelled from the coven. The fuck? Any other hockey shit? The fuck's going on?
Dude, fucking
Trade deadlines in like what, second week of April? Some
Yeah.
weird shit like that.
I'm still curious as to whether or not we're gonna go get Stahl, dude. The longer it goes on, like the more I'm into it.
I'm into it. I don't give a fuck.
That's
I don't
kind
give a
of
fuck.
that's kind of I'm like fuck it, dude. Let's see what happens, right? I don't think
Dude,
it can
all the
hurt us.
Canadian teams are only playing each other this year. Like,
I
this year's
know.
a fairy tale. Like,
Yeah,
what are
for
you
real.
talking about?
Everyone's like, look how crazy they're going. I was like, brother, is there one defenseman up there? Is there one defenseman?
For real.
Like Tyson Berry, isn't
real.
Tyson Berry like top 2 D man?
I was literally about to say Tyson Berry's like the best defenseman in above the dude. They've been talking about him like he's a god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the fucking awards this year are so chalked.
Yeah.
Like all of it. And I'm not even specifically shitting on the Canadian teams, but even like any of them. It's like you've only played 8 teams all year. Like you can't. How are you going to say this guy is the best defensive forward or whatever? It's like, dude, he's played the same 8.
None of those Canadian fucks have had to go against Seth Jones or
For
Zdeno
real,
Chara
dude. For
or
real.
John Carlson
For real. At all.
or Jacob Slavin.
Haven't even had to think about it. They literally have like, we'll deal with that in the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
In the conference finals.
Dude, it's gonna be so crazy. That's the first time they're gonna see. Like, it's gonna be so hard to guess if you're those teams to game plan because you're gonna play that first game. But okay, so that's what they're doing. We got to do this now. But then they're changing their shit. I feel like it's gonna be such wild swings in those
It will.
conference finals, like a 6-0 loss,
Yeah.
switch to like a 7-2 win, back to like an 8-1 loss, just fucking crazy.
Wild.
Can't wait, dude. Cannot wait. Speaking of the Wild, have you seen that Kirill Kaprizov? I don't know how you say his last, or Kaprizov. The Wild, he's kind of like Panarin. He's a rookie, but he's like 26. He's been
Oh, no
playing in the
shit.
KHL forever.
Cool.
Going off this year.
No, I haven't. Good for him.
Good for him. I mean, good for the Wild, dude. Victor Rask is even getting highlights posted by the NHL. Dog.
I saw him on something the other day. I think he was like part of a highlight. Like he was stationary, but he like passed a puck, and I was like, yo, I know that guy, dude.
Shouts out 49,
Shouts
dude.
out, dude.
You remember when? God,
Like that's
when
my
he-
David Ayers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
dude,
saying?
For real. He was nice as shit for like a season and a half.
For real.
He got caught up with on
He
one of
caught a-
Skinner's few hot
He was
years.
nice enough. He said, "I'm gonna catch me this $6 million deal."
4x6, baby. I'm
I'm
going
out
back to
this
fucking.
bitch.
Is he where is he Swiss? Where's he from? Like,
Is
or
he not
Swedish?
Finnish?
I don't think he's Finnish.
He's not finished.
I don't think he's Finnish. Anyway, he's fucking making paper. Did you see that? Did we talk about that Jeff Skinner and what's his name in the penalty box?
Yeah.
When dude was like,
He was like talking shit, and he's like, "You're the most overpaid player in the league." I feel like that's such an it's like a lame thing to go at, but also too like it's the easiest comeback. You're just like,
but I'm paid. Like,
Like, bro, like, how often are you at practice with your buddies being like, fuck this shit, right? Like,
yeah.
like, I just want the money.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
just talking shit. Like,
Especially when you're that guy, and it's like, I
who
mean,
are you?
yeah,
even?
literally, who is like? I heard about him because he was talking shit to Jeff
That's
Skinner.
usually how it goes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Curtis
Shouts
Gabriel.
out Trent Frederick, bro.
Shouts out, yeah. Shouts out the dude who was got his number looked at by Matthews. Can't remember that guy's name.
Oh, that was wasn't that Scott Sabrin or whatever?
That's exactly
The
who
only
it
reason I
was.
remember that because I saw a highlight of him recently in the I'm assuming the AHL, just fucking ran the other team's goalie and then just turns around and this one dude was just doing the obligatory wrap up and got his fucking face punched in, son. Like he was going up just be like, "Hey man," and Scott was like, "Pop, pop, pop, pop."
Oh, you're ready to go, are you?
I was like, man, that was. You're going fuck, man. Like I
that's
did.
fucked. That's so fucked.
It's so fucked, dude. I
After
love it
running the
though.
goalie. Speaking of action movies, Falcon and Winter Soldier started Friday. I haven't watched it yet. I know you didn't watch it. You suck. Did you watch it, Dylan?
I got like 10 minutes left in it.
You didn't finish it?
Nah,
Like,
I had to leave.
it's like
So you were
masturbating
30
and, like,
minutes
not
late,
busting
and
a
you
nut.
didn't even finish what you were doing to be late.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh, that's why you were late here for the most part?
No, I was late because I genuinely thought it was 1:30.
You're still whack.
But
So really, you should have watched less of it.
yeah, I shouldn't have started it.
Really shouldn't have. You're the worst. You're the worst. It's gonna be good. We'll be doing recaps of that stuff, how it ties into the MCU.
Be all over it. All over it. There's no V.
Speaking of dumb shit, so Kylie Jenner her makeup artist got in a car accident,
Car accident of some
which
sort.
sucks. Like that's awful. Quick recovery to that person. Are they hurt? Like, are they hurt?
I really don't know.
Or they
I
just
mean,
got,
he
like,
has a
some shitty
big
medical
surgery. It seems.
Oh, that's right.
you
Didn't
know,
you say it was like $60K?
Yeah, like $60,000
That's
surgery.
a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of money. But then Kylie Jenner puts on her Instagram story like, "Hey, could you guys go donate to his GoFundMe?" And then they went and looked, and she had donated $5,000, which I'm not saying $5,000 isn't like a lot of money to most people, but when you're Kylie Jenner, $5,000
is
is
this
not a
person
lot of
who
money.
directly does her makeup? Or
Yeah,
is
I
she
think
like
it's
the
like
person who like gets the makeup person coffee.
I think it's a dude, and I want. She probably has multiple makeup artists.
Right.
I would assume when you're Kylie Jenner, but I think this is one of her main.
Paid for the fucking surgery.
For real, she had and people were saying
You're
like she had
worth
posted
millions.
fucking days or weeks ago where she had bought her like daughter this $15,000 handbag for like her literal toddler, and it's like, oh, but you can't drop fucking 60 grand on dude. Just call the surgeon and be like, yo, just figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You can probably get that shit sponsored. You know what I'm saying? Get it paid for by someone else. Like you're fucking Kylie Jenner. Figure that shit out, dude. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Trash.
Absolute trash, dude.
I mean, I spend 60 grand in Tarkov, like,
Like, right, just fucking the blink of an eye.
yeah.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's way more fucking high stakes than this guy's surgery.
For real.
I hope it's nothing serious or serious.
It's wild. It's a lot of money, man.
Like his heart is actually on the outside of his body right now. We gotta.
It's crazy.
Oh shit! Just speaking of crazy shit,
Yeah.
I guess not really crazy shit, but I think I might have changed my stance on the whole CDL stuff, dog, with the comms leak thing. I think it may have like changed where I stand on it.
Good.
'Cause so
Go on.
I didn't specifically we're talking about the optic versus phase one just because that was the biggest one. CDL leaks their comms. They were talking shit, hyping themselves up, that sort of thing. I didn't realize that it was in between matches, and which is I thought maybe it was like just before or like in between a round type of thing where it's like that's what it was. So this is in between matches that they leaked the comms from, and I was thinking to myself, like, at what point, because of how this is all working, trying to compare it to other sports, is this the on the field or on the ice play versus the when they're in the locker room talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that line get cut for these guys play? Because they don't have a traditional locker room because you're just kind of sitting there playing online right now. So it's like, when does that invasion of privacy start? And with it being in between matches, with just not during the game, it does kind of feel like going into the team's locker room with a microphone and leaking like what the coach is saying. Like when Antonio Brown forever ago, he went on Instagram Live in the locker room after a game and caught Tomlin, the head coach, talking a bunch of shit about the other team, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!" And it's like, well, yeah, like I'm sure every coach is talking shit about the other team in every locker room. It's just it doesn't get out, and I don't know, man. I kind of feel where they're coming from a little bit more now.
I don't necessarily disagree with any of that, especially from the idea of there needs to be a clear line between when is it in between match and when is it a locker room situation, because that's a great point. You can't just walk in the locker room with a microphone.
At least without announcing it too.
Unless there's like some sort of
it's the
agreement
media
in place,
scrum,
like post, or you're doing like a fucking documentary, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when HBO type shit. But like kind of like we were saying though, they likely have something in place where it's like if you're fucking on our time, which between locker rooms, whatever, we can your fucking video and audio subject to content.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, I do agree with what you're saying. And if those lines aren't clearly established to the players, like if they're not like, nah, like you guys don't have a locker room.
Yeah.
Then that's like then whatever then like to anything that they're saying, if then it's like they're kind of like just bullshitting because like nah, like you were told you don't have a locker room.
Yeah.
But if they weren't told that, then it's kind of shady. Then.
Yeah.
Much more shady.
And you saw just on the back of that, Optic has now implemented their whole kill switch thing. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
So they right after it happened, because we were talking about Hex, we were interested to see how he would react. He was very upset that the comms got leaked.
Right. Which kind of surprised me.
I was a little surprised, but then it's also he's definitely gonna rock with the team type of thing. Like
yeah.
But so he goes and implements a kill switch, and in this last tournament that got played right when the game was over, it's one button at the end of the desk that like the tech guy set up. It cuts all the cameras,
I noticed that.
all the mics, like everything cuts out immediately, and it's like, I mean, I feel him, especially. Especially a team like Optic and FaZe, honestly, where it's like it could be argued that they're bigger than the CDL as far as just
100%
impact on the scene.
If they left, if all those players or those orgs left the CDL, people would stop watching the CDL.
100%.
In terms of the majority.
And no one's going to care as much when you post a video with two other teams being like, oh yeah, this guy's trash, and everyone's like, I don't know who that guy is. No offense to him.
I mean, they could definitely, don't get me wrong, they could definitely take some Joe who has a decent personality and like social media following and then start branding them the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then it'll do all right, but it won't.
But
whatever
even still,
other thing those players, the Scumps and the Arcities and the fucking Simpson, all them went to, it would. They would just do the following.
And it's we've always talked about just how new it all is. Like this scene was built by those teams versus the league building the teams type of thing, like giving them the platform and then they, like jumping board or.
Well, some of those players who built this whole thing are still on other teams, but yeah, to your
point. But in the sense that like the CDL could try to build up a new guy, and I just don't think it would have the same impact as, a new guy getting a boost for like, oh, Optic brings in this brand new guy who is really good, but they bring him in, he's on their YouTube page and stuff.
Like Envoy.
Like Envoy, the fucking, they brought on Zuma, that guy who had to retire because of hand issues or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like getting that shot, getting seen on those channels boosts you so much more than the CDL could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Warzone's still getting hackers, dude. It's all fucked, dude.
Trash.
Activision's fucked everywhere. Up, right, left. Now I'm just getting dev errors, dude. The past couple times I've played, like if we're even like sniffing a good game, just like there might be something here. Dev error kicked right the fuck out, dude.
Trash
terrible.
game.
Trash game. Doesn't happen to any of my Xbox One buddies. Only to me. And I'm assuming like I think it happens to a lot of the streamers on PC. So
Why
gotta
you
love
breathe
it,
so
dude.
hard?
He's working hard, dude. He's tired of us. He's exasperated. He's over it, as some would say. He wishes he could just be laying there with Ralphie, dude. Ralphie's
Ralphie's
Ralphie is
out.
hard chilling. We've said his name 4 times. His ears haven't even moved.
No,
dude.
he's
like-
out.
Dude,
Sounds like a good
fucking
idea.
Hard chilling.
Jacob,
What's up, dog?
where can they get us if they want to take a nap?
If you want to go to sleep, you you hit us up at Talkin' Sauce Pod. No underscore respect. The underscore. If you're watching, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Podcast every Monday. Scrum every Wednesday. Check us out all the streaming services. You can get me at JCobb, JAY_COBBB. Josh.
At Teebs, TABZZ.
You find me already. You teabags your mom. 69 420 lowercase x capital.